Okay, this is going to be the first video in documenting the process for adding the US variant puzzles to the Sokoban 1 game. This screen shows the data that is included in the game.dat file. Currently, it includes this data. To add the US variant puzzles, I have to add this data. So that means that I have to increase the size of the game.dat file to include the extra information. So the simplest way to show you what I have to do is to use the game data program, which is what I use to examine the contents of the game.dat file. You notice that the relevant structure is the progress type. It is currently set to 4. I have to increase it to 10 to include the extra data. Okay. Now, that is not all I have to do. I have to account for those extra entries in the code down here. So this is where everything is set up. You notice that it's basically just in order. I could have done it with a loop, but I didn't. But now will be the time to make it a loop, because there's going to be 10 of them, and it will be easier to do this as a loop. So after which set, we put in a for loop. And let's say, okay, I have to create a variable. So let's see, we need an integer. So, comma, counter. I find that easier when I'm trying to use a for next loop to count. Counter, 1, 2, 10. Need all of those then. It looks like I'll be adding a few more things. So next, counter. So that shows what will be there. Now, I also, well, first of all, I need to change this to quote, semicolon, counter, semicolon, quote. And then here will be progress, counter. There. That fixes that, so I can actually remove all of this. And this for next loop will handle all 10 of them. Now, this is assuming that all 10 of those entries exist in the file already, which they do not. So this was just to show you what I have to do to be able to look at the contents. Now I have to make sure that, oh, that's right, I've got one other thing I have to do. Okay, undo that last part. Oops. because I've got to deal with this. Okay. Row. That's going to be fun. I have to figure out exactly what to do to increment the columns and the rows, because the first thing you notice is that there's two different columns. There's column 10 and then there's column 30. Oh, guess what I left out? Yeah, look what I left out. I almost made a big mistake. There. And this needs to be counter. Okay. Okay, I think I've got it. There, that works. Now each column and row is accounted for. So now I can get rid of these. Now this has to change because this is going to be row, let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So this will have to be row 14. Okay, so this is where I do have to do them separately, because while these are all set to false initially when you reset, these are different. In the cases of 5 through 10, they will all be 0, and last num will be 50. Or no, they all will be 0. So let me see. Six, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I could probably do this different by putting this part in a loop as well, but it's not that much code for this little program, so I think I can just leave it that way. And then that is what resets the file back to its default settings, which is everything is set to the beginning. And since you haven't played any levels yet, last num equals 0 and contiguous equals false because you haven't played a puzzle yet. So now change set. Okay. Okay, so this is the one now. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That should work. That may not work because it only gets one key press. That should work. Because X0A is 10, it'll be, oh no, that's going to put in CHR string 10. Okay, that's not going to work. I have to think about that. I guess I'm going to have to modify the in-key routine to get multiple characters until the string is equal to 2, to CHR string 13. So that means I've got to increase key there. maybe all I needed to do was change these both to 2. There. That should fix it. Okay, so key just needs to be a single character. There. Okay, so this basically changes it so that when it asks for input, you actually have to press enter, where before it was just a single key press. Okay, so now I have to put 10 back in there. And then that should work because it'll either be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 10. Or it'll be R or C or M or Q or Y or N. So that's that. Now let's go back up here. There. That should allow game data to display and allow you to modify to the limited degree that it is modifiable the game.dat file. But before I can do all that, I have to modify check files because that's what creates the file. Let's see. Okay, the window's too narrow for me to use the find box. Okay, so now this has to be increased to 10. Okay, that's all that needs. I have to actually change progress up here. 10. Come down here. Okay, and this is going to change a lot of things because this now has to be increased to 10. So, count 4 is greater than or equal to 5. Oops, wrong side of or. And that takes care of that. Well, I can see I forgot something here. So now that's going to create an error on set, because set is only equal to 4. So I have to change that to 10 as well. All right, so that pretty much takes care of that. So I'm going to end this video and then I'll come back with the video in VCC where I actually test this. Compiling things. There were a couple of things I noticed after I stopped the last recording that I overlooked in the code. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you the code and what it is that I missed. Okay, so the first thing I noticed that I had overlooked was that I did not account for the correct puzzle number in sets 3 and 4. And the reason is because the first puzzle of set 2 is level 21, and the first puzzle of set 4 is level 31. So when it's displaying the puzzle number for that puzzle, for those sets, it has to subtract 20 or 30 from the set in order for you to see which puzzle it is. Because the way this is set up, what you see when you're playing the game, for example, in set number 2, or actually it's set number 3, is instead of seeing level 21 through 30, you're seeing level 1 through 10. Okay? So it accounts for it automatically when you're playing the game. So you're not seeing the actual puzzle number in this game. You're seeing what the puzzle number would be in the game it came from. Same with set 4. The puzzles are 1 through 50. So in order for you to see 1 through 50, it has to subtract 30, because in this game, the puzzles are 31 through 80. So I made that correction. Another thing that I noticed I had missed was down here. Okay, keep going, keep going. All right, here in change set. I had changed that from 1 to 4 to 1 to 10, but then down here it still said 1, 2, 3, 4. So I noticed it and I went ahead and changed it to 1 through 10. And so that's what was needed for this. So now I'm going to pack it and it'll overwrite the one that's already there. Now, right now, this thing is going to produce an error if I run it, and I'll show you why. Well, actually, right now it won't because, it will because there is no game.dat file. If I do a directory, you'll see that I renamed the game.dat file to game.dat.back. And it's because I didn't want to lose what was already there. So when I run the game, after I get through repacking it, it is going to create a new game.dat file that's going to be the default values. Okay, so yeah, that's packed by. Oh, that isn't what I wanted to do. Load 1.bo9. Now this one, I don't think I missed anything in this one, so I went to lunch, so it's difficult to remember exactly what I did and did not change before lunch. I'm pretty sure that what was in game data was all that I noticed that I had not done and did. So I don't think there was anything in SOCOBAN1 or check files that I missed. So this is the first time loading it, so we'll find out if I got the code right. If it loads without errors, then I know I got it right. Looking good. All right. So yeah, notice the data space size or data size has jumped up from 1909 to 1963, and check files didn't really change much, I don't think. But yeah, it didn't change much because everything that needed to be changed for it was changed in SOCOBAN1. In check files, all I had to do was make sure that I was receiving the correct size of the array. So anyway, we will pack all to SOCOBAN1. Rewrite. Oh, in about, the reason it got smaller is because two things. There was a remark line on a GoSub 80 line that didn't apply. It had gotten put there by accident when I was making a change to SOCOBAN1 previously, and Of course, in TextPad, it's all one big file. And I had only just noticed it, so I removed that comment. And then on the until statement, I was checking for 1 through 8 instead of 1 through 7, so I removed the 8. And that's why it got reduced from 4,016 to 3,993. Anyway, so we've got 8,006 free in a 40K workspace. That's good. Now, here, you see that GameDat does not exist. So we will run Sokoban 1 and find out if I screwed anything up. Okay, instruction 3. Oh, there. Ah, okay. I forgot to change that. Otherwise, it's correct. Okay, so 4. Oops. I thought I pressed pause. Oh, I'm still at the start screen. Okay. No. And okay, now let's find out. Yep, everything's there. Exactly as it should be. Quit. Why is it not quitting? Okay, something's wrong. Okay, so the problem is just that I forgot I have to press enter now. It was just a single key press before, but now that I have to enter a 2-digit number, I've had to insert the CR character to exit the loop, and I had forgotten about that. Anyway, everything is there, as expected. So we'll start the game again. Now, this is what I forgot to do. I need to go fix this. Insert. So get this over here so it'll register the key press. I'm only going 1 through 4, and I need to go 1 through 10. So I need to fix that. So we're in. I'll be editing instruction because that's the one that needs to be modified. Somehow I neglected and overlooked that. This is the longest time though because Sokoban 1 is such a big procedure that it takes a few minutes for it to load. I'm just glad that I have the ability to type ahead. And I don't press enter when I do that because I never know if I missed a character or if I did something else incorrect. So I'd rather wait until I actually see what I typed before I press enter. I think it's a good safeguard to do it that way. Anyway, so as you can see, the data is now there. It doesn't contain anything yet, but it's there. And it seems to be working okay so far. but that's just preparation. They're still putting in the code to actually do something with it. Okay. 40. Yep. Okay, that's going to be fun. First thing I got to do is change 4 to 10. Okay. Now, this is where I make the change over here in this other window and then paste it there. So you just have to bear with me for a moment. Oops, not that file. That file. Instruction. I'm pretty sure some part of this is being recorded, whatever sticks over into the box there, but just have to bear with me for a bit. Six, 7. Wait a minute. Oh, okay. I have to come back up and look at it again. Something's wrong. 5, 5, 6, 6, 50, 7, 7, 50, 8, 8, 50, 9, 9, 50, 10, 10, 50. Still missing something, I think, though. No, that's it. Okay. That should be all I need. Now to be back over to here. Now let's see where we're putting it. Paste. Doing it this way is much easier than trying to do it just inside Basic 09. It would be a lot of typing. There really isn't a copy-paste function inside Basic 09. Okay. Save all to subcommand 1. B09. Yes. Well, the size of instruction jumped up there. Hopefully over time I will learn how to ad-lib and talk about things that don't matter while these things are happening, so it's not just a bunch of watching a screen that does nothing. Hopefully anyway. Now the other thing is that I have to see what it looks like in the overlay because I may have to increase the height of the overlay. We will see. It doesn't look like it's doing anything. I wonder why. I'm getting the impression that the emulator has frozen. Yeah, I think I'm going to have to escape, and that's going to quit the recording. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I ended up getting it all done, but I had to do some of it without recording it. Basically, I had to split the program into two different files because it got too big to pack. So I got it all done. I got everything made. Let's see what it looks like. There, now. Over here, 3. So they're all accounted for now. And the file starts out with all zeros because you haven't played a puzzle yet. And set 1 is set as the current set. So to name them off, set 1 is all 80 puzzles from Sokoban 1, 1B, and 2. Set 2 is all 20 puzzles from Sokoban 1B, or excuse me, Sokoban 1. Set 3 is the 10 puzzles from Sokoban 1B. 4 is the 50 puzzles from Sokoban 2. 5 is all of the puzzles. I don't have that right. I've got it labeled as 50, but it's more than that. But 5 is all the puzzles from the 5 US variants of the game. 6 is all 50 of the MS-DOS puzzles. 7 is all 50 of the color computer puzzles. 8 is all 50 of the Apple II puzzles. 9 is all 50 of the Commodore 64 puzzles. And 10 is all 50 of the ex-Sokoban puzzles. So number 5 there will actually be changed to, I believe it'll be 73 total puzzles. I'll have to recount that when I get done, but I believe it's 73. So, and of course the thing with that is that in those puzzles, they're not numbered 1 through 73. The puzzles that are the same level number but a different puzzle between different sets, the MS-DOS variant is labeled as Screen 8, and any other variants that are included with that one. Any that deviate from that will be Screen whatever A, B, and C. There is one that has A, B, and C. The rest are either A or A and B. And I still have to work out the code on how I'm going to deal with those differences. So, but this is now, oops, I didn't want to do that. No. So that'll be the next thing for me to work on. So I'm going to end this recording now. I'm going to edit the various recordings I've made so it ends up being one video. And then I will put it on my website and put a notification in the Discord Basic 09 channel that the video is available for watching.